Beautiful outside right now, bit on the warm side.
It is, but
Yeah.
it's August, right?
It's August. You expect it to be like
Sure.
this. The pattern hasn't changed. My forecast hasn't changed. The temperatures really haven't changed very much. So heading into the weekend, if you like the heat and humidity, look, it's going to stay with you through Saturday and Sunday. But there are some subtle changes down the line. Let me start with temperatures. We do have a 90 on the board here, several of them actually. Carmel, Crawfordsville, Brown County. Most of the locations are into the upper 80s. We do have the humidity that's a little bit hot on the higher side, but it's not terribly oppressive out there. So when you take this number and you factor in how your body can respond to that humidity, the heat index, it feels like it's into the low to mid 90s for most of you. This is not into that dangerous category. Once you get past about 100 or 105, your body really can't get rid of the heat as quickly, which is why you need to be careful if you're outside. It's still on the warm side. I do want you to take care of this weekend, as it is going to be on the warmer side, just not as bad as it was like a couple of weeks ago. Mostly clear skies for tonight, 71 for the overnight low. No major changes to this part of the forecast. It's kind of been 70, 90, and then we just adjust the values depending on how humid it is or how much we expect any clouds to develop during the afternoon. I'm expecting tomorrow will be plenty of sunshine, especially the early part of the day. Kind of like today, we'll get some of those clouds to develop as we get into the afternoon. High temperatures right around 90, 91 or so are expected high temperature for your Saturday. And I mentioned this yesterday, and I'm going to say the same thing today because the forecast hasn't changed very much. Even though I'm calling for mostly sunny skies, and most of you will see this out your window, there is a very small chance that you could get one of those very isolated pop-up showers, about a 10% chance or so. Just like we saw yesterday. Yesterday the radar was active for a few very isolated locations. Most of you got a beautiful day out of it. Notice the changes that are starting to work their way into the forecast by midweek. We really start to ramp up the rain chances by Tuesday and Wednesday, and because we're going to have additional rain chances and additional cloud cover, we'll also ease those temperatures down just a little bit. And by the way, if you're wondering maybe what the longer term forecast is, take a look at this map. The signal is there so that past our 7-day forecast, we're actually expecting temperatures to be above the average. Not necessarily significantly above the average, but the average high this time of year is about 84 or 85. And this entire 7-day forecast is above that. Rain chances look pretty good for Tuesday into Wednesday, maybe even carrying that over into Thursday. Definitely much more of an active pattern next week as opposed to what we're expecting for this weekend. Traffic-wise, a couple of things I do want to make you aware of. I said there were a few accidents on the board. Let's take you to the west side, 465. An earlier accident southbound, 465 on the west side, does have some slowdowns in traffic, but there's also an accident northbound now that is starting to back up traffic, and it is because of this. There was a vehicle, looks like into the center wall there, that is now being put up on a flatbed truck and moved away. That is blocking the left lane as well as the emergency lane. That's causing the backup on northbound 465 just past the airport. We're looking at 10th Street there, and then also we see the usual slowdowns on I-65 approaching 465 on the north side. This is at 96th Street. Typical slowdowns. We're going to see more of this volume over the next hour or so. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll also watch the other locations on our map to see if there's any new accidents that pop up.